Alright everyone, it's been more than a little while. I promise this was not intentional. Life and stuff just happens and bam, just like that, it's been 6 months or so. Let me just say, it's not as if I haven't been writing. In fact, the whole time I haven't posted, I've actually kind of been on and off with the writing. The problem has just been reaching finality with any one thing. So in my attempts to avoid that, I wanted to keep the video rather casual and light. For some of the examples of things that I've been working on apart from this has been Dead Space, Harry Potter, Ethan Hawke's The Black Phone, to a small extent Saw, Dark Souls of course, and quite possibly to the largest extent, Joker.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Now these are all things I still want and will do, but I need to collect myself on many different fronts, and hopefully this video is the first step in getting there. Anyways, let's get started with how things should have gone from the get-go and say hello everyone, my name is Sen and welcome to my brief analysis on Resident Evil 4. In particular, the remake. Now, of course, with getting things started, I would usually mention some form of background related to the game, movie, or thing that I was talking about, and look at that, some of the things just don't change. So let's get on with it. Resident Evil 4 was originally released on January 11th of 2005, and has been ported to just about anything that can play a game. But out of what I recall, it had real estate on the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and the PC. The version of the game that we're talking about today was released on March 24th of 2023, and that's been 18 years of existence between versions. The original was looked at as being the pinnacle of what a Resident Evil game should be by anyone that got their hands on it. Even from the release of Resident Evil 2's remake, there was a breath of how goddamn cool it'd be if they got around to showing this kind of love for the fourth installation. And of course, with the release of the remake of the third game, it was all but confirmed that this would be inevitable. Something oh so important I feel I need to know was the favor of the fan base before this game was even announced. There was a split between Resident Evil 2 and its remade state, and the version of this game from 2005. It would only go on to say that if this game did get around to being remade, this title would be sure to steal the hearts of the fan base with ease. And to nobody's surprise, it did just that. Let's talk briefly, and I do mean briefly, on my personal history with the title because there really isn't much to offer. I didn't play this game as a child, and my only exposure to it was watching the girl I had a crush on in middle school's older brother play this game for a little bit. It wasn't until many years later that I actually got my hands on a copy of the game, but I was so wrapped up in other games and so spoiled by modern day controls that it was actually a little tough to get through. I tried again a number of years later, but by this time people were telling me just to wait on the remake, and well, here we are.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Now with that out of the way, I guess we can talk about the game. Let's start with the simplest things we can cover in the shape of the mechanics of the game. I'm sure despite what a lot of people would like to think, this game is actually pretty easy to break down mechanically, and I am beyond stoked that we're not talking about anything that resembles the Arkham games. We're back to Leon, baby, and this SOB has had a training montage. So not only are we shooting and stabbing things like in the second game, but this fella took a note out of Peter Griffin's book and decided to watch Roadhouse. And not only that, we're suplexing motherfuckers, bro. Yeah, and we can flip over stuff unnecessarily to avoid it. It's like a goddamn Tony Hawk special trick right there, Jesus. No dodge roll like in the third title, and I don't really find this too much of a problem except for the part that this fucking guy runs with no sense of urgency. I think not having a roll is pretty important because it makes your approach towards each sequence a bit more trepidatious. To be honest, you're not in control of too much more than that. Like, you do dodge and break out of holds and whatnot, but it feels kind of cheap to include that. You manage your inventory, which is a pretty staple to the franchise, to be honest. I got it. You in fact are in control of plot device, the character. I mean Ashley. All you do really is give her basic commands like stay, or come here, or don't pee on the carpet. That's a dog, isn't it? You're in control of Ashley the dog. You lift her up on or over things to help you get through segments, and that's essentially your mechanical investment to the character. We'll talk a bit more on Ashley later. Moving on. Now, with any game whose mechanics leans a bit towards basic, the experience requires two other pillars to carry through the game, and make sure you're still engaged in place of being bored. The first being a compelling narrative, which I'm sure we all would hope comes standard in any title, and the second being enemy variety. Just because the game mechanically is pretty simple doesn't mean it's unable to be interactive and fun. Speaking of interactive, there is something you need to engage with apart from the enemies, and that is the world. One of the main features apart from the combat that is standard to the Resident Evil experience are obscure puzzles. These would only ever happen in these games. They're not terribly tough to figure out once you have all the pieces and actually pay attention to your surroundings, unlike myself.
So this... I see. I didn't even think about that.
The puzzles in these games are one of the main reasons these games are as Metroidvania as they are. It's usually a case of the main door progression being sealed away until you get some obscure version of a key to unlock the door, which is stashed in a different section of whatever space you're exploring. If you think past the surface level for more than 5 seconds, it makes things feel so much more gamey than they already are, and how many areas are essentially pointless if not for the fact that every important door needs a key. Each and every key is, but of course, guarded by the very enemies I wanted to talk about in the first place. One of the strengths of these games comes from enemy variety. With this game mechanically being as simple as it is, enemy variety being a strength is an absolute must. And this can also be remixed with areas you're meant to navigate being a part of the obstacle as well. I also hate bear traps. Yeah, because I definitely probably walked in that bear trap 7 times. Yep. As for the bosses of this game, there wasn't anything that was all that difficult. With that being said, I was in fact playing on normal difficulties, so that may be a part of it. And while I didn't have a hopelessly rough time on any one boss, I feel as if that didn't take away from the satisfaction that comes from completing the encounters. Much like the basic enemies, what differentiates each boss from another is the environment they're placed in and how they do or do not move through it. And of course attacking patterns as well. Say what you will about bosses having big glaring weak points, but I feel as if that just screams Resident Evil to me. You just kind of expect it as a staple of the franchise. On that, I actually like these boss fights and don't remember having any qualms with any of these from a design standpoint. You are ugly. Slightly tied to this, I would say there is no moments of power that you're meant to feel in these games. There's not really any segments where you as a player are overpowered for a change, which is by no means a must in these games, but I almost expect it from games modeled like this. Maybe you could attribute being involved in a power fantasy segment to games that are more action oriented. The closest thing you would feel to this is in the final moments of the game, and that's just because you have an RPG. I feel the best characterizations of a power fantasy moment are a bit more lengthy than this, where you truly feel a sense of strength, where these games just don't typically have that. Before we wrap things up, let's talk about the major characters that we interact with throughout the game. First off, and I'm gonna try to keep this part short, we are, as stated earlier, piloting Leon, who is maybe a touch more jaded, a little bit more cautious, a little less trusting. The important thing about Leon is how the characters he interacts with reflects on him. With Ashley, Leon is showing himself to ever be the optimist, or as Salazar said, unyielding. Leon is Ashley's hope just as much as it goes the other way around. I like these two together, and I like watching them interact. With that being said, Ashley truly is the damsel in distress in this game, getting captured every time you turn your back, both mechanically and represented through the cutscenes. Sorry, baby, don't worry about it. I would not sweat it too hard, girl. We've been in oh my god, what? But she did save our life, so can't be too mad. Ashley reflects Leon as being hyper competent, and you kind of have to be as a player. I don't think they would have sent you on this mission if you weren't. Luis. Luis is one of my favorite parts about the game, and seeing him and Leon interact with each other, Luis comes across as a very lighthearted guy, even in the most serious of situations, throwing out jokes. If the goal of the character was to bring out the lighthearted nature of Leon, I would almost say that Luis does the opposite and contrasts Leon as being more serious. I like this character and am stoked to see him on screen anytime. Apart from what's going on to the people of this place, he is one of the biggest mysteries. Maybe that's just something Resident Evil does, where they make the characters that are helping you just as mysterious as whatever is going on related to your goal. And finally, Ada. Ada is a returning character. If I recall, she was mentioned in the first game and was made actually one of the characters you interacted with and even played as in Resident Evil 2. I would say that Ada very much does the same job that she does in Resident Evil 2, which would be that she makes Leon come across as very green. Leon very much believing in the redeemability of this character, and at points to his own fault. This is supposed to be more of a seasoned, more jaded Leon, but she really does make him feel naive. Seeing these two interact makes you feel like when your best friend is chasing after a girl you know's not good for him, but he still just kind of does it anyways. Let her go, bro. Get together with Ashley or Claire. Just someone else, please. Just let it go. Anyways, let's go over the basics of the story and get out of here. You is Leon. Leon worked for government. Leon is sent to Spain tasked with the mission of retrieving the president's daughter that was kidnapped. You know that because there was a sighting of her, I believe. You're rolling in with a trio, figuring out where to drop, when one of you forgot to use the bathroom last game. Shit gets a little sus. You get chased out of the house and into the thick of the village. In style, my dad. Well, you lost one of your 3 stacks. Surely it couldn't be that bad. Fuck. Bingo time. Proceeding onwards, we stumble into our new BFF. Yeet. One of us. One of us. BDSM? Lovely place you have here. Hello there. Background check of our boy Puss in Boots coming back a little shady. He used to work for Umbrella once upon a time. The church is big locked. Hey, fishing. So sleepy. Chunk. Like Baby Ruth. And it's the dog from the top rope! Hey, church time. Hey, yo, what's up, girl? I'm not like other girls, Leon. Hey, Nazi zombies. Ashley has come down with the anime wife syndrome. Luis is gonna save us. Oh shit, they know each other? All Luis wants to do is bounce out of this place, understandably so, but Ada will only help him out if she gets something called Amber, which is one of the main reasons why things in this place are the way they are. I wonder if that's why everyone loves Bingo so much. Shit, dude. Tombstone is back. Oh my god! Who the hell are you? It's now known the, let's say, ambitions of Lord Saddler. And that's to unleash the Plaga upon the world, gaining control of it. Wow, she really isn't like other girls. Hey, can I have my knife back? Hey, it's my OG girl. How you doing? Well, howdy there, miss. Hey, would you look at that? She got kidnapped. Again, ritual time. He got thrown down a fucking well. His grip strength is immaculate. Captain Douchebag, is that you? Bro, this is a straight up Crash Bandicoot level. Krauser kills the homie. We find out that Krauser was actually a major component in facilitating Ashley's capture. How do I say goodbye to what we had? We throw down with the Short King. Hey, a boat. Oh, what's up, girl? Jesus Christ. What the hell is that? What's up, girl?
That's a huge bitch.
No, don't do it.
Voldemort ain't looking so good these days. Square up, Dan.
Disgusting.
Damn, dude. Ada saves the day. Arkham Asylum, Leon flashes. Hey, we're saved. Ah, a little sleepy. Oh, shit, bro. You know C++? Oh, shit. Bro, shit. What are you doing up there? This isn't even my final form. Thanks, babe. Leon gets fucking booted. Let's get out of here. Bro, just fucking kiss her, man. Kiss her. Hey, she did change. Hey, we did it. Hell yeah. It only took us way too long to write for this video because I'm a procrastinator. In earnest, I love every minute of this game minus the bear traps, of course. Remaking these games is a really good chance to relate a lot of the old feelings from when these games were first released to a new audience. And as of right now, this is very easily my game of the year. I had a ton of fun playing this game, and I look forward to seeing how the series of games progress towards potential future remakes. I haven't really been rating these games, but I would love to throw this game a 9 out of 10. It's been one of the few games I started a second playthrough of, which for me is very uncommon. The characters and voice acting is wonderful, the series of events is immediately engaging, traversing the world is interesting and finding out more about what actually happened. Mechanically simple, but that doesn't mean it's boring because the way that you engage with enemies and the terrain around you, as well as boss fights. The boss fights are very well done, the character design is very well done. It does a good job of making things look better without betraying the original designs of the game, so it still feels in-world. The way the characters interact with one another, from friendlies to enemies, is absolutely riveting. One of the main reasons to stop here again, even for people that played the original game, is to see it all play out and how well it's tailored. This game was a lovely experience. If you haven't played it for yourself, I would absolutely recommend it. I do want to thank you all for watching. If you guys want to see more, check out the rest of the channel. I am going to make an effort to post more on this channel. I'm just a very busy guy. In the description, there's links to not just my other channels, such as G_Sen, where I do a lot of my posting, mostly based around fighting game content, but also my Twitch, and most recently added my shared channel with one of my best friends, Cody, by the name of DualShock. Share your thoughts with me in the comments down below, and I'll see you all later.
Let's go, baby.
Mission accomplished. When you're home safe.